Hey everyone, so today we are going to record fifth video in the Google Search Console API series. If you haven't checked out four previous one, then feel free to check it out. If you have missed one of my last video, which is identifying rankable topics, then feel free to check out that as well. You might be able to see on my website I'll continue to do the Google Search Console API series with Python, but then going forward I might also add some more things to automating SEO workflows. So in this fifth video, what we are going to do is we want to see um, things like organic CTR curve for branded and non-branded keywords or search queries that you are receiving in Google Search Console. And this is important because when you log into Google Search Console, you see um, all these metrics, but it's very hard for you to break it down by types of queries and things like that. Now you'll be able to achieve that with Google Data Studio as well, depending on how you use it and how big your data is. But then I wanted to do it with Google Search Console API. So let's get into it. Also, if you have seen the previous codes here. So let me open this up into this. If you have seen previous codes, then I was using the same like Google Search Console code, but it was all over the place. Now what I have done is I have created a class, so I'll take you through that quickly. So this is how it looks like. It will seem daunting, but don't worry about it. I mean, you don't have to understand this code. You just have to use this code. But I wrapped it in a class with the help of ChatGPT, and now I have different functions within this class, which will help us authenticate, get the list of sites, and then fetch Google Search Console data. And I have also included URL inspection API, which will be the sixth video that we'll be doing. But now we have this class, we'll be using this class everywhere. So when you get the hands on the script, you make your own copy. Then first thing you do is run this class so that it has a context in this, and then you will update your client ID secret, client secret, auth, and redirect URI. You will be changing these two to yourself. This is mine. It won't work for you if you keep this, so you'll have to change it. So then I run this one, and then I say I want to create like a GSC service. So this will have that entire class, and this is referencing the class. So I will run this as well. As always, it will give us a way to authenticate. So I click here, I go in here, I fetch this code, come back, and give it here. So now I have fully authenticated the GSC service from this class, and then I can go here and I can run this, and it will give me all the websites that I have authenticated in this account. Then what we do is I specify a website here, the start date and end date, and then I am defining a dimension, like which is the dimension that I wanna fetch. In this case, I just wanna fetch queries because that's what we'll be using. So I declare all of that, and then I use something like df, which is data frame, and then I use the class that we created, and then the function within this class. So it says GSC service dot, and when you do this dot, you will have all the functions available to you, which is like authenticate, which we used already, then fetch site list, and URL inspections. In this case, we are gonna use fetch search console data. The website URL is this start date, end date, dimension, and the filter groups. Now if you think that it's more relevant for you to fetch only a specific country data or a device data, you can put those as a filter here, and that will give you that data only. So if I run this, it's gonna fetch this data and it says we got 6,944. This is the same data here. Then what I do is I want to add something like one more column here, which is round position, and I want to round this position because when I'll be plotting the chart, um, I want to plot it by that discrete value of a number of position. So now I have this. So what it is doing is it is rounding up to the nearest number. So let's say on Trident Paper Box Industries, if I have 1.16 as a position, I would consider as a position 1. Similarly, if let's say types of corrugated boxes is 6.7, I would like to consider it as 7. Okay, so we have that as a round position. Then what I want to do is I in the first one. So in this case, we are going to plot a chart which is a site-wide chart without branded and non-branded, and then we will go into branded versus non-branded. So in this case, it will be like a site-wide chart. So I'm creating a new data frame here, which is I'm naming it as Organic CTR DF, where I'm saying that I want to use DF and then I want to group by round position, and I want to aggregate clicks as a sum and impression as a sum as well, and then I want to reset the index. Once I do that, I will get a chart like this. So what this is saying basically is that on round position 1 you have 1084 clicks, and then these many impressions. So it has basically aggregated all these numbers. I don't like to average it, the CTR. You could do that as well, but I have seen that those numbers are not like accurate numbers. So I would like to go with this. And then because we are plotting a CTR, what I want to do is I want to add one more column here, which is called CTR. And the column is how do you calculate CTR is basically clicks divided by impression. So I'm doing clicks divided by impression into 100. So that will give me a percentage number in a proper number. And then I'm rounding it by 2. So when you run this, you will be able to calculate 1086 divided by this into 100 will be this number, and then I have rounded so that it doesn't extend to like 5-6 digits in decimals. So with that, now in this I have numbers up to 121 rows or position. Like there will be different, there will be it will be skipping some because it might not have the data, but I don't think those numbers are very relevant. So that what I'm doing is I'm just getting like narrowing that data frame down to round position which is less than 11, which means that I'll just get numbers for 10 positions. So now I have the data frame with 10 positions, clicks, impression, and my CTR. You could just look at this data and it might look fine to you, but we will plot this further. So we use Plotly, and then in Plotly we are saying fig will be this which will print with fig, and fig px.bar, and then we are using this same data frame that we just created, and then we are saying that on y-axis I want round position, and then on x-axis I want CTR. Orientation is horizontal and not vertical, so that we can have bars like this. And then I also want to reverse this, because when we plot this chart it will start from 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Just for a better visual representation, I'm reversing the y-axis and adding titles like click-through rate and ranking position, and I think that's that. We are saying here that I want number on those bars, and it should limit to 2. Whether I do this or not, I think it will be just okay, because in the data also we have that. And here it is saying that whether I want it like outside or inside. Um, so I have done outside, inside, like you can do whatever you want to do. So with this, we have a site-wide CTR chart. So now we know that on first position we get 27% of CTR, but this is not like accurate in a sense that if you are an SEO consultant, specialist, expert, whatever you want to call it, this doesn't tell you anything. The reason why I say that is because uh, this is combining brand and not brand both. And what I would love to understand is that how those non-branded terms are giving me CTR and not the branded ones, because branded will always be top 5 positions and those CTRs will be a lot higher in general, right? So after doing this, what we want to do is we want to plot these same charts for brand and non-brand both. And the first thing that you have to do is to, um, so if you once again go to your DF, which is this, we would like to add, we would like to identify each rows, and we want to say whether this keyword is a brand keyword or not. And to be able to do that, I have a function here. This is the same function I think we used in one of the previous videos as well. And what we are saying is that for us, brand terms are the ones that contains these keywords. You can add more depending on yours. And then we are saying that if the term in the brand terms includes in the query, then give it as brand, otherwise label others as non-brand. So you run this, and then you say I want to add one more type of column which should say keyword type, and then that function should run on each of the rows in this query as a column, and then it should apply. So as soon as you run this, you will get a data frame like this, where it will basically detect that if this keyword has Trident in them, then it's brand. Trident Paper Box Industries or Trident Packaging, for example. That's how people know the brand. And let's say this website is from India, and if you feel that there could also be like keywords searched in other languages like Hindi, you might want to add those Hindi keywords here as well. Probably it might not happen, but it might happen as well. So let's say um, this saying box cutting, for example. So I don't see it here, but you might want to do that. So as soon as you do that, you have a ready data frame which says brand and non-brand. Then I would go through basically the same process of aggregating that or grouping that by round position, right? Um, so we already had a round position in this case, so it's good. Then I'm saying that I want to create a new data frame which is basically BR, NB, Organic CTR DF, and then I want to group DF by two things here, round position and keyword type. And then of course I want to aggregate clicks and aggregate impressions, and this should print um, a data frame which will say round position 1, where the keywords are or queries are brand, the clicks are 1000 and impressions are 2000. So you can already see that the CTR is roughly 47-50%, but the non-brand is a way less CTR. So now it kind of gives you a good understanding of how different queries are performing. Then I want to calculate the CTR as we did before from this data, and then I want to narrow down the data frame up to 10 positions. So obviously you will get 20 rows here because we have narrowed it down until 10 position. And then I would just like plot the same chart here, and you would see a graph like this, which basically here you can see that your branded queries are performing oh sorry, I think, okay, so I'm going to remove this, And now we have a chart which shows what are those CTRs look like. If I can also remove this and then see. So let's say on non-branded terms, we have CTR, the highest coming to third position, seventh position, and things like that. Um, so yeah, I think this is what I wanted to show you. Here you can have a good look at how your queries are performing at different positions, and that's that. So I hope this will be helpful. Also want to add one more note here, which is you can do a lot more things with the script, because it is allowing you to filter data by different dimensions like page and queries. So when you request this data, you can change it here and say, let's say you just want to include queries which has a specific term, let's say box or cardboard. So let's say you want to understand that this website sells or manufactures cardboard boxes. How those keywords, like how users are searching those keywords, do they use cardboard or box or packaging or packing box or whatever? So you could get it by different types of queries. You could also get it by different types of pages or a specific URL or a specific set of URL. So it's up to you how you wanna um, you know plot that. But I think this is a very powerful tool to understand how you are performing in search results. So I hope this will be helpful, and we'll see you in the next video, which is gonna be URL inspection API.